sack master, back-to-back years leading the Pac-10 in sacks, 21.5 over the last 2 years. He is a NFL draftee, going to be here in 2 weeks. His life's going to radically change, and right now it's a blur. Joining me in studio, he's also the largest man, I believe, to ever join us in studio. Ricky Elmore's my guest. Ricky, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Now, you're in between like 14 workouts today, so you snuck some time to get down here to the studio, huh?
Yeah, it's just been real crazy and just preparing for what's about to come up, but enjoying every second, loving life, and just can't wait to see what happens in a couple weeks.
And by the way, if you'd like to get some questions into Ricky here, we'll have him for a little bit. You can dial us up at 298-1490. Any questions about draft preparation or the Arizona Wildcat football team, dial us up at 298-1490. Let's start with this NFL draft process, because I'm sitting here and I don't think there's any way I can possibly imagine what it's like to end your college season and college career and then know that this huge draft is on the horizon. What has this process been like for you?
It's just been crazy.
Yeah.
It's just been waiting for an opportunity that I've been looking forward to pretty much my whole life. I started football when I was 7 years old. Always had this as a dream, and seeing that it's finally coming a reality, knowing that I only have 14 more days now to wait. Just every day is getting longer. Every day is like Groundhog's Day. I wake up, do the same thing, go work out, same expectations. It's been a crazy process, but I'm loving it.
So you also have to be in touch quite a bit with NFL teams.
Yeah.
They call you up, they email you, they go through an agency. How do NFL teams, you just sit around someday and you're like, oh, it's the San Francisco 49ers calling.
You know what? Yeah, it's exactly what it is. They'll either go through my agent, Steve Carrick, or, they'll just call me straight up and I'll see this random area code and I'm like, it has to be a team, so I answer it. So it's been really cool. It's been a fun experience. Once you go through it, you really respect everything that you do a little bit more, because all the workouts, the time you put into things, you start to realize without those things you wouldn't have got to where you are today. But, every time I get a call, every time I get a workout, every time I get an interview, it just reminds me of how lucky I am, how unfortunate I am for the success I've had over my career.
Did you know when you came to college that you were going to be an NFL player?
Going out of high school, everybody thinks you're going to go to college and, just dominate.
Yeah.
That's just what you do. But when you get to college, you go right back down to the bottom of the totem pole. You're right down there. You're just another guy on the roster. But I think after my sophomore year, when I started games and I had a bigger role on the team, then I really started seeing what is really beyond the horizon for me in the sport. So over my success over the last 3 years, it's really become apparent that this is something I'm good at and this is something that I love to do, and I really can't see myself doing anything else than what I'm doing right now. Competing is something that without it, I would probably be miserable. Going out there.
You're competing in the office doing something driving people crazy.
It doesn't matter if it's in the gym, if it's on the field, if it's in the classroom. It's just what I need to do. Because being able to compete with the top competition day in, day out is just something that a lot of people don't really get their experience. And especially on the stage that it is. National Football League, it's the cream of the top, the best of everything. So being able to go out there and, the teams are interested in my skills, and just to know that I can still offer my expertise and my pass rushing ability, and just being a football player, it really excites me. I really feel rejuvenated. I feel like, I just started football again. I feel like I'm a 9-year-old kid, and it's
a little
just
bit bigger than a 9-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I'm the size of a 9-year-old kid.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's just been crazy. It's really been fun. I love what I do, and I really can't wait to see where this takes me in the next few years, 5 years, 6 years, I hope.
Ricky Elmore.